Step back in time with me to an era before the United States of America emerged as the unified nation we know today. Picture a patchwork of colonies, each a world unto itself, governed by its own rules under the watchful eye of British dominion. These colonies sprawled from the rugged cliffs of New England to the balmy coasts of Georgia, disparate and distinct, like threads awaiting the weaver's hand to merge them into a single cohesive tapestry. In those days, the notion of an American identity was as distant as a star, its light not yet reaching the hearts of those scattered across this vast land. Loyalty was deeply local, rooted in the immediate tangible reality of each colony, rather than any abstract idea of a united collective. However, in this fragmented landscape, the seeds of unity began to sprout, not through grand declarations or the machinations of power, but through a more subtle medium: the flags that fluttered above each colony. These flags were not mere pieces of fabric. They were declarations of values, each telling its own story, each a chapter in the narrative of emerging unity. The Liberty Tree flag in Boston, with its solitary green pine against a white backdrop, stood not just as a symbol, but as a clarion call of liberty, deeply rooted in the burgeoning spirit of resistance. The Sons of Liberty flags, adorned with 9 red and white stripes, wove together a tale of unity, their vivid colors a testament to collective defiance against the British Stamp Act. In Taunton, Massachusetts, the Taunton flag unfurled, its red ensign emblazoned with liberty and union, a bold proclamation of the colony's quest for rights within the mighty British Empire. The Gadsden flag, with its iconic coiled rattlesnake set against a stark yellow field, whispered threats of danger, embodying the colony's readiness to defend against tyranny with the stark warning, "Don't tread on me." And the Continental Navy Jack sailed the seas, its alternating red and white stripes foreshadowing the unity that was to come, a visual precursor to the Grand Union and eventually the Stars and Stripes. These flags initiated a dialogue of independence and identity, weaving together a narrative that would eventually culminate in the birth of a nation. More than mere symbols, these flags were manifestations of a collective desire for something greater, a testament to the resilience and determination of a people poised on the brink of unity, daring to dream of a united America. In the crucible of early American history, the disparate states found themselves bound together not by shared governance or culture, but by the heavy yoke of British oppression. This period was marked by a series of events that, irrespective of individual allegiances to one's colony, stoked the fires of unity among the American colonists. The imposition of taxes by the British Parliament without any form of colonial representation, through acts like the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Townshend Acts of 1767, served as a lightning rod for colonial dissent. This principle of taxation without representation echoed through the colonies, becoming a unifying cry against the overreach of British rule. Then came the Boston Massacre in 1770, a chilling episode where British soldiers fired upon a crowd of colonists, claiming 5 lives. The blood spilled on that day served to inflame anti-British sentiments further, transforming local grief into a continental cause for resistance. Colonial leaders seized upon this tragedy, leveraging it to galvanize public opinion against the seemingly tyrannical grip of British governance. The year 1774 brought the Intolerable Acts, a series of punitive measures targeting Massachusetts as retribution for the Boston Tea Party. The closing of Boston Harbor, until the tea was paid for, was not just an economic stranglehold on Massachusetts, but a clear message to all colonies about the cost of defiance. These acts, seen as a direct assault on colonial autonomy, unified the colonies in opposition, revealing the strength found in collective action. Amid these tensions, the Quartering Act demanded colonial assemblies provide housing and supplies for British troops stationed in America, further straining already taut relations. Meanwhile, British efforts to diminish the power of colonial assemblies and impose stricter royal control undermined the very foundations of colonial self-governance and judicial independence. These catalysts for unity culminated in the escalation of conflicts with Britain, leading to the formation of the Continental Congress. This body of collective colonial representation marked a decisive step toward American unity, setting the stage for more coordinated actions against British dominance. In the tapestry of American suffering, the Grand Union flag emerges not from the vision of a single artisan, but from the collective will and necessity of the early architects of American liberty, the Continental Congress, and the valiant hearts of the Continental Army. This emblem, where the storied Union Jack dances alongside 13 stripes, each a testament to the unity of the colonies, was a beacon of shared purpose in the face of adversity. The origins of the Grand Union flag are shrouded in the mists of history, with no singular individual credited with its conception. Instead, it is the product of a confluence of minds, perhaps spurred by the strategic insights of Continental Congress or the tactical genius of George Washington himself. Its debut atop the USS Alfred in December 1775, under the watchful eye of the fledgling Continental Navy, suggests a decision born from the upper echelons of revolutionary leadership, symbolizing a delicate balance between the desire for autonomy and the existing bonds with the British Crown. This flag was more than mere fabric and dye. It was a declaration, a visual symphony of unity and defiance, an emblem of the colony's intertwined fates. It whispered of solidarity in the face of the Quartering Act's demands, echoed the collective outrage at taxation without representation, and stood firm against the storm of the Intolerable Acts. As the Grand Union flag unfurled, it heralded the burgeoning spirit of a shared American identity, a prelude to the full-throated call for independence that would soon resonate across the continent. As the Grand Union flag unfurled against the backdrop of an emerging America, it marked a moment of quiet revolution, a breath held between unity and division. In this landscape of burgeoning dreams, each state stood as an independent entity, self-governing and unique. Yet under the shadow of this emblem, they found a common cause. The flag, with its blend of the Union Jack and 13 stripes, whispered of a delicate balance, a yearning for rights and fair treatment within the vast empire they still called home. This flag was more than mere cloth and dye. See it as a beacon, casting a light of solidarity and collective identity across the colonies. It was a call to arms, not just in defiance against the encroachments of British rule, but as a declaration of a shared destiny. This was the dawn of an American identity, one that acknowledged its roots across the ocean even as it reached for something entirely its own. In the act of hoisting the Grand Union flag, the colonies stood together, united by the shared weight of oppression and the glimmer of a common dream. Though each state clung to its sovereignty, in that moment, their destinies intertwined, forging a collective will against the tide of imperial demands. This flag was not just a symbol but a promise of unity, not yet fully realized, but burning brightly in the hearts of those who dared to raise it. It was a prelude to the revolutionary symphony that would soon sweep across the land, transforming a collection of states into a nation forged in the crucible of shared struggle and aspiration.